Dumb dicks.
Hey, what's up, nerds? Hardleg Joe here, welcoming you back once again to Dumb Decks, the show where I look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Builds that are unique and interesting, but not necessarily good. And hoo boy, do we got one of those for you today. This is Utopic Double Cheese Burger, an OTK deck that uses Utopia support and a hefty helping of cheese to win the game with Hungry Burger. Now this was done as a Patreon request from one Leaf Blady, who has a knack for requesting strange things of me. And normally, I wouldn't do something this stupid, but it's a new year, I'm experimenting with new content, so I thought I'd see if y'all would enjoy something radical like this. If you do, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share the video around with people you know, and most importantly, join the Patreon yourself to help support my growing insanity. Links, as always, are down in the description. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into things. So as I said, this was a Patreon request for Hungry Burger OTK. And considering that fact, I think I did about as well as could be expected. I mean, this is not consistent. If you go second, and your opponent does nothing to disrupt you, this will work maybe 1 in every 5 times. Which is not good at all. But it's still better than any of the other burger decks that I tested out. I tried quite a few builds before settling on this. This is about as consistent as it gets, but more importantly, this build is unique among gimmick decks, in that it actually has a backup plan. A lot of times when you see stuff like this, it's do the combo or fail, but the Utopia engine we've packaged this with is actually fairly powerful on its own. So even if you don't assemble your delicious cheesy burger, you should still have a pretty formidable field that can possibly actually win a duel, maybe. Hard to say. I'll show that off as we get into the test hands, but first, let's talk about the real meat of this deck, which is making your burger. The combo for doing so requires at least 6 cards. That's the minimum you need in order to do the Hungry Burger combo, which may seem a bit absurd, because it is, but we've got a few things working in our favor. For starters, at least 4 of those 6 cards are just any level 4 monster, or any level 4 that can special summon itself, which is like half the deck, almost half, but we've got searchers for it, so that counts. And that feeds into the second positive point about this deck, which is that we have redundancies for our combo built into the extra deck. What I mean by that is, like, one of the things we need to do for the burger combo to work is negate one of our own attacks. This can be done either by drawing unlikely Sword Soul allies, which is a thing that can summon itself to negate an attack from either player, or by ending on a copy of Utopia. Either one will work, so there's some flexibility with what you can draw. You can either get this or 2 level 4s. And speaking of drawing, that's the biggest advantage of this deck. It draws a lot. You don't need to have all 6 cards in your opening hand. As long as you can get 2 level 4s on the field and Ixie change tactics, you can draw between 4 and 12 cards, allowing you to dig through your deck and assemble the combo like a fast food worker who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to be one of those. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this card, it is a continuous spell that says every time you Ixie summon a Utopia monster, you can pay 500 life points and draw a card. This is not a once per turn, which means if you summon Utopia double, use its effect to summon Utopia, then rank it up into Utopia Prime, and then rank it up again into Utopia the Lightning, well, you've just drawn 4 cards. And considering how many level 4 extenders we have, it's not too difficult to make another Utopia and run through this whole line again for another 3 cards. Now, unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, depending on who you ask, you can only control 1 copy of Ixie Change Tactics at a time, which means this can occasionally be bricky if you get multiple copies. It's so useful for digging through the deck, though, that we run it at 3 anyway, along with 6 cards to search it. Those are Generation Force, a spell that searches any card with Ixie in the name, as long as you control an Ixie monster, and Utopia, a level 4 that allows you to discard a card to search a whole bunch of different stuff, including Ixie change tactics. This thing also works as one of our level 4 extenders, because it has a second effect, which is you can special summon it from your hand if you control an Ixie monster. The same thing with Ixie Slidolphin, whatever, which we only play at 1 because it's a hard once per turn. It is an extender, and it's an alternate target for Generation Force. So even if you already have this, even if you get this late in the combo, you can search an extender with it if need be. But anyway, let's get back to the OTK. Once you start drawing your cards, here's the things you need to make your combo. First, Hungry Burger and its ritual spell, Hamburger Recipe. You need to hard draw at least one of these 2, but you can find the other one using either of your Dogmatica cards. Maximus can dump Herald of the Arclight straight into the grave from the extra deck, which searches any ritual card when you do that. Ecclesia, meanwhile, can search Maximus, so either one of these will do. Now, once you have your ritual and your spell, you need monsters to tribute for the summon. Maximus works great for that, so if you can get that, all the better. But you can also get any 2 level 4s or just another copy of the burger. Once you have all that, you need some way to make Dugaris the Timeless, which is a generic rank 4 that can double a monster's attack. Then you need Double or Nothing, which can be searched by Utopia Double, another generic rank 4, which we usually make before anything else. Finally, you need some way to negate an attack, which again can either be Unlikely Sword Soul Allies or an extra copy of Utopia, which is also another generic rank 4 if you didn't know. The fact that so much of our combo can be accomplished just by summoning rank 4s is why this deck functions at all, really, and why we play so many rank 4s, which I guess I should go over real quick. Allies doesn't special summon itself in a way that's useful for the combo. It's mostly just there for negating attacks. But you can normal summon it in a pinch if you really need to, which could be said of all of these, really. Ecclesia, meanwhile, can special summon herself as long as there's an extra deck monster on the field. So she is an extender, but you have to be careful about activating her effect. She can search out Maximus when she's summoned, but doing so locks you out of the extra deck. So you have to choose if she's going to search out your final ritual piece or serve as material for Dugaris. She could do either, but she can't do both. Hat Tricker, meanwhile, can be summoned from the hand if there's 2 or more monsters on the field. This is not once per turn, which is why we played at 3. It's the best extender in the deck. Our 2 ZS cards, meanwhile, are our starters. Ascended Sage can be special summoned from your hand if you control no cards, and Armed Sage can be special summoned if the only monster you control is a level 4. Either one of these, along with any other level 4 monster, makes for a free rank 4, which is why this is such a good starter, and also why we run 3 Zexal Construction and a Rhoda, because both of these can search both of these. In addition to their summoning abilities, these both gain effects when they're used as Ixie material. They search a card. Ascended searches your one-of rank-up magic spell, while Armed searches any ZW monster, which is why we play this random level 4 ZW monster. The rank-up is much more useful, which is why we play Ascended at 3 and Armed at 1. These are good starters, but you don't want to draw them after the fact. As for the rank up, it lets you turn any of your Utopias into number 99, Utopia Dragonar. In addition to being a Utopia card that will trigger Ixie change tactics, this thing can detach 2 materials to summon a Utopia from the extra deck, allowing you to start another chain of summons and draw 3 more cards for free. However, if you use that effect, you can only attack directly with this card for that turn, which means you could potentially screw up your OTK unless your opponent has some monsters for you to attack into. Just another decision to make this already complicated deck even more complicated. Anyway, I think that covers just about everything except for the desires, which is super risky, but we're already playing a jank deck and we need all the draw power we get, so we live dangerously. And also there's this one of Zexal Catapult. This summons a ZS or a ZW from hand, and is an alternative search for Zexal Construction if you happen to draw it late game. This is useful because it can turn any of your starter cards that are bricking in your hand later on into an extender. But enough of that. That's enough explaining. You've listened to me talk long enough. Now it's time for action. Now that you know everything in here and why it's here, let's see how this thing actually works. Now, normally on this show, this is where I would put up a replay of the deck winning and then explain what was happening as everything sprinted by. But in the spirit of experimentation, I'm going to be trying something a little different. In order to show you exactly what it's like to play this monstrosity, I'm going to run through some random test hands, and we're going to keep going until we get the combo twice. It might happen on the first 2 tries. I might be here all night. Hard to say, hard to leg. Either way, seeing it play out like this should give you a good idea of exactly how often this thing works and how often it doesn't. And seeing it work twice should reinforce just how differently the combo can play out. So without further ado, let's throw our script to the side and just try this out. Okay, so to start with, we need 2 level 4s and Ixie change tactics. I think we've got that. Let's go ahead and reinforcements of the army and get our Ascended Sage. And while we're here, the Generation Force, we're usually getting just to summon the Ixie change tactics. So let's use Zexal Construction, which reveals a card, shuffles it into the deck, and then searches something you want. In this case, we're going to search for Armed Sage. Ooh, ah. As I think I said before, these 2 are the best openers you can get. Special summon this if you control no cards. Special summon this if you have a level 4. While we're here, let's just go ahead and special summon this out. We're going to activate our Ixie change tactics now, and then we're going to make Utopia double with these 2. Like I said, when these 2 summon their search, but you want to chain this so that you draw and then do your 2 searches. That way, resolving backwards, you'll search and then draw, so you won't draw the things that you're hoping to search. You're deck thinning before you draw, so you can hopefully get better stuff. Just another way this deck gets slightly more consistent. So we're going to draw, we've got the rank up, we've got this bonus, we get that. Hey, that's a way to negate our attack. Now let's go ahead and activate Utopia double. We're going to search the double or nothing, and then we're going to summon Utopia in the extra monster zone. That's important if we get Maximus. Get to draw another card for that. Okay, there's another Hat Tricker. That can be either another Utopia if we want to try to extend, or it can be the Dugaris. We do have the potential for Dugaris. If we can draw another, basically these next 2 have to be one piece of the ritual card and either of the Dogmaticas. If we could do that, we've got it. Well, there's one piece of the ritual, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use Rank Up Magic Utopia Force. You could just go into Utopia the Lightning, but that can't be used as Ixie material. So if you use it there, you're just screwed as far as going further. This one, we can still use this to make another Utopia and draw 3 more cards. Okay, Unlikely Sword Soul Allies. So what we're going to do here is we're going to activate Pot of Desires. Now, if we banish both of our hamburger recipe, it's over. It's done. But if we draw either one of them or the Dogmaticas, then we've got the full combo. So are we feeling lucky? Okay, that wasn't anything. Show me no hamburger recipe. Hey, that's what I like to see. All right. So we can use Generation Force. I believe we banished the Ixie, so we can, or the Dolphin, so we can just use this to deck thin a little bit. We have not normal summoned yet. So I think we're going to normal summon this. This is kind of risky, but I want to be able to do the OTK. So we're going to make another Utopia. Draw 3 more cards. Now we need an extender as well. So we go. Yep, that's just broken. Let me check this real quick. Did we banish our other one of? We did not. So we still have a chance to get something. Let's go into Utopia Prime. Draw a card. There's the hamburger recipe. Okay. So now all we need is just any way to get another level 4 monster onto the field. Can we draw a hat tricker, or the thing that lets us special summon, or an ecclesia? If we could do that, we've got it. Huh! No, it's another goddamn hamburger recipe. Alright, so now we can't attack directly, which means I can't necessarily show you the OTK, but this would still potentially be an OTK if your opponent had monsters on the field. So let's use this. We can detach 2, summon Utopia. And our rank up magic also attaches to it, so if you happen to do this and you don't have Sword Soul allies and you draw your last combo piece, you could, and there it is. If we control an Ixie monster, we can summon this from our hand. That allows us to have the 2 level 4s, so we can make Dugaris the Timeless. Now we can hamburger recipe. We'll send 1 burger to summon the other burger. We will activate Dugaris the Timeless to double the attack. There you go. And then what we would do if we could attack, which we can't attack directly with anything. If your opponent had monsters on the field, you would attack with Hungry Burger, you would negate with either Utopia or this, and then you would activate double or nothing. It says when a monster's attack is negated, target the monster, it can make another attack during this battle phase, and its attack is doubled during the damage step only. So you attack with Hungry Burger, negate it, and then double or nothing to get an 8,000 Hungry Burger. And if it's a direct attack, you win, and then if not, you still have this to go in directly for 3,000. And you can negate it if you want. So there's one. There's one, we got lucky. Let's see if we could do that again. We'll start with this, and, oh, we started with Ixie Change Tactics. Oh, wait. And I already fucked it up. Because I put a card on my field, I can't special summon this, which means I can't make a rank 4, which means just forfeited that one. That one doesn't really count. This cannot make a rank 4. We got the 2 hat trickers, great extenders you don't want to start. This can only special summon. Basically, we have a bunch of normal summons and no way to special summon it, so that hand's dead. This one can potentially work, although I don't know, we'll try it. I'll try it out and we'll see what we got. So we can normal summon this, and even though we don't need to, we're going to go ahead and discard the Generation Force and get a... let's go for the Ixie Change Tactics. Just to deck thin out. We've already got it, but we got nothing else to do. Let's go ahead and make Utopia double. You've seen this part. This time we're only getting the rank up magic. And Ixie Slee Dolphin says when you Ixie summon, you can special summon it. This is something we normally want to add off of Generation Force. If we already have this. Again, kind of a hard once per turn, you can't activate another one. Once you have an Ixie monster, you can activate it again. Just get the 3rd one out of the deck. Yeah, that's the problem, is we opened with the extender, so now we're just getting bricks out of our hand. Alright, so we've got that. But we need, basically the perfect draws to do anything, and I think the chances of that are very unlikely. Got the Ecclesia. Of course, I should mention that, at this point, if your opponent has nothing on their field, or they have a monster, you could just use double or nothing with Utopia and attack for 10,000 and, win the game from there. So you probably want to do that. Let's go ahead and activate Pot of Desires, because we're not cool with that life. We can't just accept mediocrity. We have to be special. Okay, we've got the Sword Soul allies. Do we banish both of the Maximus? No, just one. And one Hungry Burger. But we're still alive. We haven't used this yet. So let's go ahead. We could shuffle back one of our Ixie change tactics and get... I don't know. This we can't special summon. Yeah, I guess we're just going to get the Catapult in case we get either one of those extenders. We can then do it from there. Okay. Going up into Utopia Prime. Drawing a card, another Pot of Desires, going up into Utopia the Lightning. Drawing another card. And we got the Hungry Burger, but unfortunately it ends there, because I put the Utopia double. So let's just try it again. Reroll the dice again, baby. This doesn't have a way to special summon two monsters. This does. This is actually not too bad. We'll special summon this. We'll activate Zexal Construction. As much as I don't like putting this back, because this is an extender and something else, being able to start with both of these worked really well for us last time. It's like the best amount of deck thinning. So we can do that. We can normal summon this. And then I think we've got to actually pitch the Desires to get the Ixie change tactics. Unfortunate, because I would have liked those extra draws, but we need this in order to go. Fortunately, we have at least one of our level 4 extenders on the field. We've got this. We've got a Hungry Burger. So depending on what our draws are, we might just get lucky. Alright, hey, we drew another Pot of Desires. It's like they knew. Let's go ahead and get the double or nothing out of our deck and make the Utopia in the extra monster zone. Don't forget it. I forgot it once. It was awful. You don't want to do with that. Okay, third, but at least we know we won't Desires into Desires. Let's activate this now before we deck thin too much, and again, hope that we don't get both of our burger recipes. There's one. Okay, we've lost one of our burger recipes, but both of our Maximus, which is unfortunate. So, we have to hard draw the other burger recipe. That may prove difficult. Fortunately, we do have the Hat Tricker. We have this, which is going to be able to search out change tactics, because we banished the Dolphin. Have I already normal? Yeah, normal summoned this. Alright. So, we've got it. We've just about got it here. Although, as soon as we get out of this Utopia, we now need to draw into something that lets us negate an attack. In addition to another level 4. Well, there's another level 4. Hey, how do you do? Let's go up into Dragon Ears. Bada bingo, bada bango. So much Ixie material. Discount Ixie material warehouse. Hey, we haven't used this effect yet. So that's pretty nice. We've got all these rank 4s on the field, which means we can afford to make another Utopia just for free. We'll still have the material to make Dragears. And if we get the burger recipe... Oh, but we don't have the material. We don't have the material to tribute it. Because we need these two to make Dragaris the Timeless. We have the negate attack, but can't activate the burger recipe because we need one more monster, which means we have to draw and hopefully get a level 4 or another burger. I think the other burger's in here, yeah. So we have to get like exactly another level 4 and unlikely Sword Soul allies, which we've already banished one, so the chances of those two being on the top, very unlikely. It's unfortunate that you can get so far into the combo and then still manage to fail it. Yup, and there we go. Unfortunate. It would have been cool if we could get the Maximus if we hadn't banished both of those. There's the allies! But if we made the Hungry Burger now, we would have to use our own allies. And we could do this to draw more and try to get into it again. We've already seen that version of the combo. I want to see if I can get it pure, actually attack directly. So we're trying again! Alright, this has the ability to do it. Let's just go ahead, reinforcements of the army, get the Ascended Sage. We're going to special summon the Ascended Sage. Normal summon. Once again, we're going to be pitching our Pot of Desires, because I learned from last time that we don't want to lose the Maximus, but we need the Ixie change tactics. Our entire deck relies on getting this. It's weird, I said we need a 6-card combo, and we do, but in order to get that 6-card combo, we need to get a 3-card combo of 2 level 4s, including a special summoned one, and this thing. And the Ixie change tactics. Let's go. Only getting the rank up magic. Plus a free draw, Pot of Desires. We're going to get the double or nothing first, because that's a one of, and you really don't want to try to activate this before your Pot of Desires. Let me look at this, though. We've got the burger, we've got that. So, this is the burger recipe. So, all we need is a level 4 extender, which is most of our deck. If we can get that, then we have the combo now. Assuming this doesn't banish both our burger recipes. We have the extender. Did we banish both the recipes? We did not! Okay, I think we got it, baby. We'll go ahead, summon this out. Use these to make Dugaris the Timeless. And then what we need to do, the reason we put this in the extra monster zone, is because we need to use it to make Gravity Controller. This is any non-link monster in the extra monster zone. This will put all your Ixies into the graveyard, and you need Ixies in the graveyard because you need to banish an extra deck monster to summon Dogmatica Maximus. Maximus can then send 2 cards from your extra deck to the graveyard. We play the one of Elder Entity Natis, and this is your only chance at disruption. I mean, I guess technically you can attack with, like, Dugaris and, this thing, you know? Or if you have the big dragon ears, you could do that. And then, like, clear the field so that you can OTK. But otherwise, the only removal that you're going to have to try to clear the way for the OTK is maybe 1 copy of Elder Entity Entis. So we activate the Arclight. The Arclight gets the hamburger recipe. We're going to... Oh, I tributed the Utopia for the thing and now I don't have it! Oh, I'm a fool. Why do fools fall in love? Why do they do such silly things? Yeah, you tribute the Maximus for this, then you could do it. But I wasn't thinking. I got too excited. I forgot that, again, there's some synergies, but you gotta be complicated. Okay, I'm gonna really fast forward at this point. I'm just gonna make a counter of how many we have to try, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, have to keep moving on.
Wait, I think this is it. I think it turns out we only needed 1 more chance. Okay. So we can use these to make Dugaris the Timeless. I guess we'll summon this. I don't see why we wouldn't, just in case. Then we can activate her. Oh! Damn it. Remember before where I was like, you gotta make Gravity Controller, don't forget it. I locked myself out of the extra deck. I can't make Gravity Controller now. I can't make any Ixies. Which means I can't summon Dogmatica Maximus, which means I fucked this up yet again when victory was in my... Let's do it again!
Just what lies ahead, only one way to find out. Let's keep on moving ahead.
Alright, one interesting thing that I should mention here while I ran into it is the cool thing about Zexal Construction is because it shuffles a card back into the deck, you can put your double or nothing back. And that way you don't completely ruin your combo. Because you have a chance to completely ruin your combo. It's very unfortunate. I've done it several times now. Probably because I'm recording this very late. Probably because this deck is insane and I'm a madman to even try building it. But I'm getting pretty close. This one might be pretty good. Get rid of the Generation Force to get the change tactics. We'll see.
No time for guessing, follow my plan instead. Trusting in what you can see. Take my lead, I'll set you free. Follow me, set me free. Trust me and we will escape from the city. I'll make it through.
Ah, we got so close, but we needed another level 4. Run it back again!
Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, have to keep moving on. Just what lies ahead, only one way right now. Let's keep on moving ahead. No time for guessing, follow my plan instead. Trusting in what you can see. Take my lead, I'll set you free. Follow me, set me free. Trust me and we will escape from the city. I'll make it through. Follow me, set me free. Trust me and we will escape from the city. I'll make it through, prove it to you.
Hey, I think we finally got it here. Good thing we got the Zexal. The thing can turn all your stuff to level 5s if you want. Okay, let me make sure I don't fuck this up. We got Gravity Controller here. We've got Dugaris the Timeless with these two. Now we can activate Dogmatica Punishment, banishing that, summoning itself, send the 2 things, pop, pop, and then our opponent sends 2 things, which is why I have to test with an opponent. We'll go and activate the Entis and blow this up so that we don't draw anything else. We'll use this to get a burger. Om nom nom. Delicious burger. And then we can finally do this. Activate hamburger recipe. Summon the Hungry Burger by tributing the Maximus. Dugaris the Timeless. Third effect, double the attack of a monster by detaching 2. Skip next turn's battle phase, but it doesn't matter because there won't be a next turn. Because when we attack with Hungry Burger, Sword Soul Allies is like, nah, you may want to rethink that, dog. And then Double or Nothing is like, I've thought about it enough! I will rethink that! And during the damage step, 8,000. It's been a long road, but we got there. And it only took that many tries. I stopped counting, but hopefully Joe in editing counts, and hopefully he's still human after having endured all that in real time. Whew. Not looking forward to the future. So, yeah. There you go. That's the Utopic Double Cheese Burger experience. Can you pull it off in a real duel? Probably not. But if you did, oh boy, would it be epic, assuming your opponent didn't surrender after watching you draw 12 cards. In fact, I'm sure there are probably better things you could do with this engine. Maybe Exodia. Most people, when I were testing this, they were like, you should probably play Exodia, drawing 12 cards like that. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed seeing this dumb little deck. It's jank as hell, but I think it's the best Hungry Burger OTK on the internet. At least it's the best that I could make. If you could do better, I'd love to see it. Anyway, thanks again to Leaf Blady for suggesting this strange thing. Remember to let me know down in the comments what you thought of all this. Remember to like the video if you liked it. Join the Patreon if you want to help Hardleg Joe do more crazy shit. And until next time, good luck and have fun.